Let's get
Yeah,
going.
I'm down.
Awesome. Well, welcome back,
I didn't
guys.
watch the episode yet. No, I'm just kidding.
And with that, we welcome you back to the Off Topic Podcast. Um, we're gonna. Well, my camera went weird, but today we will be covering the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and also a little bit of news from some things that have come out Marvel Studios way this week. As always, I'm Tom. You can find me on Twitter at tstamon13, and I'm joined by Chris.
Hello, yes, I'm Chris. You can get me on Twitter at bag1982 and also on Facebook.
Same here. And we are also joined by Zach.
What's up, guys? I'm Zach. My Twitter, MCU Zach Crew. And I'm currently watching the episode while we're doing this podcast because I didn't watch it. I'm just, just winging it like, hey, this part.
He dies in the end of it. Don't watch it.
It's like, yeah,
Spoiler. No.
spoiler.
I don't even want to watch it anymore.
I'm giving up on this series.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, unfortunately, this is the end of the series. So if you haven't seen any of it yet, go back and watch it before you watch any of our podcasts, because we have already talked about quite a few of them. So
And only a month and 16 more days till Loki comes out.
Yeah.
Which seems like forever from now, but
yeah,
Yeah. I think we've been spoiled a bit though, haven't we?
oh yeah, 'cause
With WandaVision
yeah.
and then right into this. It's been good. It's been good.
we've had like so many other just good content come out recently too. It's really good to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess we'll get into this episode then. So again, spoilers if you haven't seen it. But picks up maybe not exactly where we left off, but pretty much right where we left off. The Flag Smashers have taken over the GRC building. Sam and Bucky are going in to help. And damn, this is such a good opening scene. It felt I like you can really tell when Feige came out and said in December that this is going to feel like a film jammed into 6 hours. I didn't necessarily believe him that it would literally feel like that, because each episode feels like a different part of a film.
Yeah, you know, my buddy, let's get off topic right away. No, it's kind of related. My buddy messaged me later on Friday. He was like, "Oh, I didn't know they were doing miniseries now." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "It was only 6 episodes." I'm like, "Yeah, but it had like the same runtime as WandaVision."
Yeah.
And Feige said at the beginning, like a year ago, this is basically a long film in parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you look at it that way, it's like, no, this was decent,
Yeah.
decently long.
This episode to me felt like the sort of final act of a film.
Oh yeah.
It was just like you say. It was started with the action, pretty much action all the way through, with sort of a little bit of, bits here and there where it let up to let the episode breathe a little bit. But it was pretty much full on
Oh yeah.
action, good action as well.
Perfect. Oh
Film
yeah. Was it ever?
Sort of film movie action as opposed to TV action.
Especially like, and I guess we'll get into it, but like when Sam first tosses the shield through the window, you get the quick little glance of the suit, and then he comes in, knocks the guy down, stands up. You get to see, that suit looks so good.
It was so good.
Yeah, I was a little worried at first, like, but yeah, as soon as he walked in, dope.
Yeah.
Do we think the wings are full vibranium or just lined with vibranium?
I think full vibranium.
I think full as well. I mean, later on, he literally cocoons himself in it, and the helicopter smashes on it. Because I'd actually written down, because I'd gone back through it, watched it again, and I actually made a note saying, do we even think that the wings are vibranium? And then that bit came on where the helicopter literally smashed into it. Like, yeah, it's vibranium. It's all vibranium. Must be. So yeah, pretty cool.
Did you notice how Sam doesn't use? I mean, I guess Cap never really used it, but he only used the shield in like defense.
Yeah.
He like wasn't I mean, well, compared to Walker, he didn't use that thing offensively at all.
I was about to say
Offensively,
he didn't
but
John Walker it, but
and speaking of, I might be jumping a little too ahead. What a character development they did in one episode with Walker.
Oh man, I've
yeah.
got some
I
real
mean,
mixed feelings about him.
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't hate him as much as I did 2 episodes ago, but
Yeah, well, see, we were jumping right ahead now, but
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to pity might be the wrong word, but I just think I think he's just a bit naive, and he's just all for, oh, I'll just do what me sort of commanders tell us to do type of thing. Whoever's in charge, I'll do as they say, and I don't know. I think he just needs to stand up for himself a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, he just seems to go with the flow, and obviously now Val's just sort of giving him a purpose, and he's like, right, I'll do anything you say, type of thing. That's the impression I get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, we're going back a bit now to the beginning of the episode.
Sorry, yeah.
But yeah, so Sam comes in and someone's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Captain America." And he goes like, "Well, I thought Captain America was on the moon."
Yeah, brilliant.
I'm so glad they called that back. But and I mean, this isn't a spoiler at all, but there's no Steve Rogers in the show, unfortunately. So I mean, a lot of us kind of expected that anyways, but like, I thought if there was going to be a cameo, it'd be this episode.
Yeah, I think looking back on that, I think that would have took a lot away from Sam being made Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we'd just seen Steve, even if the world hadn't seen Steve, even if we'd just seen Steve with Sam and Bucky or something, I still think it would have, especially the message, that was coming across, particularly in this episode, with Sam being Captain America. I think it might have just took it a little way, just might have sort of just marred the sort of the whole thing. So again, I probably said this about WandaVision, about certain people not turning up. Probably glad Steve didn't turn up in the end with this. So yeah.
But yes, Sam is Captain America though. Thank God.
He is. Yeah.
And then
About time only took 6 episodes. No.
That's what I'm saying, honestly. We got him, and he looks fresh. And then but yeah, so him and Bucky, well, first off, Sam called in a little bit of help, and that help happens to be Sharon Carter, which I definitely want to talk more about her, especially once we get to the post-credit scene.
Oh yeah.
Again with Sharon, it's sort of, I just thought it was a bit weird how it was like, oh yeah, I've called someone in. Then all of a sudden, this bloke's talking to Bucky, saying, "What you doing here?" And then she pulls off the thing, like, "All right, it's Sharon." She's sort of in disguise, but then she just ends up the rest.
Natasha used.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. But then she just seems to spend the rest of the episode just walking around, walking past, police and agents, just with with no mask on. I think, did you really need the mask on before that? I don't know. But
she just needed the bald cap and the sunglasses. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. And I also liked how Bucky, when he was first walking up to like the police line, and they literally just let him through. They just stood aside like, yeah, you go in and help. I thought that was pretty cool. He's obviously trusted quite a bit now. Yeah.
I'm trying to exactly remember what happened next because I actually haven't seen the episode in I think a day or so now.
Didn't Batroc step in then?
Yeah,
Batroc. Sam fought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Bucky did that little Steve Rogers move with the motorcycle, the launching himself off of it.
Yeah,
I think
that was cool as well.
Pretty fairly in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, actually, Carly rings him first, Bucky, and stalls him.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, rings him on the phone, sort of stalls him. That's when he goes running off on the motorbike. Sam's exit from that building was pretty awesome. He threw the shield out the window to smash the glass, and then jumped out and then caught the shield. that was again, we're talking like, movie style action, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, just honestly, everything around Sam this episode was just done so well, especially like when he's fighting. Oh my god.
Yeah. Are we meant to think that Batroc is some really good fighter, because he's held his own with both Captain Americas now, quite well.
I mean, are we talking in real life or
yeah? I mean, like in real life.
well, yeah.
in real life, Anthony Mackie or Sebastian wouldn't be able to stand next near him, but
yeah.
GSP might have a little something else to say in that situation, but
yeah.
But as for the movies, from what we've seen, like he went toe to toe with Steve and Sam now, both Caps.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't think he has any abilities, and I'm trying to remember if he actually does, because I don't think I've read too much with Batroc actually in it, or if I have, he was a very minor character.
Yeah.
So
I just think he's just a real good fighter. Like, I think he's just like a real good, like, I don't want to say bounty hunter or assassin, but like
criminal.
Yeah, dude for hire. He's really good at what he does.
Yeah, almost like
enough to get.
Sorry, Zach.
I was gonna say enough to get paid 4 times, his original pay, but.
I was gonna say almost something like akin to Deathstroke, is what is obviously not as intimidating, because he's not walking around with a full army on his back, but still. Yeah, that fight. I was kind of confused with how it ended. Not confused, but Sam just kind of left Batroc there, and like he was clearly still fine, and he's just like, "All right, see ya." And like,
that part was a little weird. I didn't get it.
Like I get he was going to help the GRC people because they were doing the vote, and he was trying to figure out like, oh, what are they doing? Oh yeah, wait, keep them inside the building, don't let them get out. Like, get that, but like Batroc's still like a threat, and he's clearly there for you. Why'd you leave him, Sam?
Is it not? I'm just trying to sort of go through, because Bucky had gone after the one in the truck on the motorbike, because I thought it was a pretty cool line, because I think him and Bucky and Sam then say something, or Sam says, "Are you going to go after them?" And Bucky goes, "Well, I don't fly. That's your thing." And I don't know if then he went after them. So I don't know whether or not. I don't know. Again, I don't know why he was messing around with Batroc. If he was happy to just all of a sudden.
And then he went to the helicopter.
He flew. Yeah. When he left Batroc, he went straight to the helicopter to save. Which again, that whole scene with the helicopter, I thought was great. And Red Wing's back.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah, I was just about to say Red Wing. Yep.
And you know what? Like, now that I'm thinking about it, the theory that I kind of had that it might have been an actual bird coming back didn't make any sense. I'll say that. Like,
do you think there's going to be an actual bird?
I had like a bit of a theory. I was like, either that or maybe oh, why am I blanking on his name? Torres. Maybe Torres is gonna get like bird powers like he had in the comic, but no, he got the wings last episode, and Red Wing's back, and how we know him. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense to do it like this instead of just be like, okay, we want to appease the 50 comic fans who are gonna remember this, so we'll do it like that, and everyone else, we're just gonna alienate that audience.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad they didn't do that.
I did think on that that sort of helicopter fight scene, if that's what you can call it, the bit where he gets thrown into the metal sort of cylinders on the boat or the dock, and he falls into the water, and they start falling, I thought, on top of him, and I thought, oh, we're getting a little bit of a call back to the Iron Man 3 scene where he gets trapped underwater by his own cars. I honestly thought, oh, we're going to get a scene where he's going to get trapped here. obviously Sam's too cool for that. He just flew out.
Yeah, I loved the that scene because then underwater you just see his jets from his costume going, and you like, okay, he's gonna fly right out. Like,
yes,
I liked that more than just him flying straight out. Like, no, he if he's got scuba gear or something to breathe, he can definitely go underwater, fly, be on the ground. He can do it all now.
You'd hope so, at least, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like what they did with Sam, especially like when he was the helicopter saving, I don't know, this is all just like it's the exact opposite of what Walker did when he was Cap. Walker's whole thing as Cap is, oh, I'm going to go battle, I'm going to go fight. And Sam's, no, I'm going to help people, I'm going to save people. And, like, honestly, from what we've seen, I'm jumping a bit ahead here, but, like, once he has his final confrontation with Carly, he literally refuses to fight her.
Yep.
So, like, I mean...
Bucky, even when wasn't Bucky fighting Carly a bit, too, and he refused to fight her?
I think he said that on the phone call to her. He's like, I'm not gonna kill you. Like, we aren't gonna.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I think that I think they were trying to refer back to Winter Soldier, the last fight between Steve and Bucky, kind of showing Bucky's growth since then. Like,
yeah.
Rather than being a killing machine, he's.
Yeah, I've quite liked Bucky's sort of well, I suppose through the whole sort of MCU, really, his sort of his story going through, but in particular in this, I mean, he's cool as fuck as well.
Yeah,
it's just so yeah. But I think you're right, Tom. It's I'm just as you were saying that about Sam not, he's trying to save people and not fight them. And I was trying to think back to what Steve Rogers used to do, and he. I'm trying to think back. It's been a while since I've seen the first Captain America, so that's a little bit different.
Pretty much only fighting.
Well, this is it, but he was in a war, wasn't he? So you can maybe forgive him for that. But after that, did he really fight anyone? Oh, he did. He did fight people, but I don't think he was really trying to hurt them, was he?
Yeah, it was more so people engaging him.
Yeah.
Like, even the whole fight with Iron Man is like, Tony started that. Like, as much as Team Iron Man people don't want to admit it, like, Tony lost his cool, and that's why I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but that's why when Tony realizes in Endgame that in Infinity War that Quill's about to lose his cool and hit Thanos, he's one of the only people who are actually actively trying to stop Quill from doing anything. He's the one who's like, you can't do this, like, we're so close, like, this could ruin everything.
Yeah. I think that's yeah.
I used to love those memes. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
No, you're right, Zach. No, I was just going to say that I think that's the qualities you have to be Captain America, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's not about you trying to fight people. It's you trying to make people better, probably.
I guess not giving up too. I can do this all day. That was the one thing when he goes down and like Carly's like, "Stop, Sam." I was like, "Is he gonna say I can do this all day?" And he's just like, "No."
Yeah, I sort of thought he was gonna say it. I think he should have.
Honestly, I wonder if it was like a little meta thing Marvel did. They're like, "Oh, I bet you all the fans are gonna expect this. Let's just have him say no as no to Carly and no to all of us." Like, I'm not saying this.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I was still waiting for even though it was between Sam and Steve, I was still waiting for like Bucky or Sam to be like, "Oh, on your left."
Yeah.
Or Sam saying it to Bucky, like flying through, like, "Hey, on your left,"
Yeah, I thought we might have gotten that.
Well, we did, like, I'm jumping way ahead here again, but like when Sam and Bucky are walking away to go talk to Sharon, like after the situation's resolved, Sam is on his left. He's on Bucky's left. So Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but
well, I don't know. Have you looked back at the last how many over the last few episodes? Has he always been on the right?
That's a good question, actually.
We should have a look.
I have to rewatch
Damn,
the
now
series
I want to watch the whole
now.
series over again.
I mean, honestly, I probably will regardless, just because we have like a decent amount of time before Loki.
Yeah. Which actually, I want to bring it up quick just in case, forget to before I have to get off. Would you guys be interested in picking, like, mutually picking like a top 5, and then like, okay, say week 1, like this week or something, like we have Winter Soldier. We all watch Winter Soldier and like go through like the whole movie, like
Sure.
little things like that we can reference to Falcon and Winter Soldier now that we like hey, they hinted this and this happened now, or like.
Yeah, sure.
I'd be happy to do that. Yeah.
Maybe in the chat during the week we can all agree on like the top 5.
Sure.
I'm sure the top 3 we can all like probably all like
agree on.
these 3.
Yeah.
And then I'll say right now, not in this order, but Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Ragnarok would be my top 3.
Oh, Endgame not in there.
Yeah, that's
that'd be like 4 or 5. That'd be like 4 or 5.
Yeah. All right.
But,
okay. Yeah, we can get that sorted in the week, can't we?
Sure. Well, that's what we'll be doing next week, guys. So stay tuned.
That way, I figure, we got 6 weeks, I think, till Loki. That'll just kind of fill the gap in for the podcast,
Yeah.
Maybe take a week off or just do a random ass week of just
pull some random
talking
list and just talk about what random list is there. Like like a Screen Rant top 10 MCU things to happen in Phase 4. But it's definitely going to be something that was released before like WandaVision or like during it, so it'll be like Mephisto heavily teased throughout WandaVision.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, back.
But yeah, so Sam stops the helicopter and literally just stops the helicopter. Everyone's cheering. We get a spotlight shot of him with the lights on. Oh, the suit looks so good.
Yeah.
He gets up and he flies back. Now, the Flag Smashers have put across roadblocks for the vans, trucks, prison.
Yeah, two trucks. Yeah.
That the GRC
prison.
members are in.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is? A prison transport?
Like prison, they look like prison transfer trucks. Yeah, they're quite secure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's why, because they're secure. Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Flag Smashers go to stop that, and Bucky steps in because he's not gonna have any of it. And then we hear the voice that so many of us did not want to hear again this series, and it's John Walker yelling Morgenthau, and he's back with his. It's not an adamantium shield, we'll say that.
Yeah, I found that out real quick.
It was pretty. I actually thought it was pretty good that they set that up in the post-credit scene on the last episode, and then it just turned out to be pretty pathetic. I thought that was brilliant.
Like a step above aluminum foil. Aluminum.
Yeah, John just basically gets jumped, and then like looks at his Medal of Honor, gets a memory of Lamar, and kind of gets off them, and then goes after Carly. Yeah. And then I'm trying to remember what happened, because was it Carly who got in the car and drove it in the thing?
Carly gets in and sort of drives it towards the edge of the drop. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a good moment where John Walker then has to decide between going for Carly or saving the people, the senators. Mm-hmm. And he chooses makes the right decision.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of reading on that. It's like, hey, John Walker is starting to get a grip on the serum, not let the serum take over, kind of. I don't think that's going to be true throughout the rest of his career,
definitely not.
I think it was a think it was a rare occurrence that he was in control there.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes me think about the serum in terms of how does it, how does it work? Because with Carly, you've seen her progressively sort of taking over, not taking over, but she starts getting bad, and then gets ready, and by the end she's just full out willing to kill people. And actually, at one point when she was talking to the other super soldiers, I thought they might turn on her at one point because she says something like, "Oh, we'll just kill them," and one of them goes, "Well, no, aren't we just taking them as hostages for, to negotiate?" And they're all seemed a little bit, all of them. It was literally all of them were just sort of like a little bit shocked by the fact that she was just like, "Let's just." But sorry, yeah, back to my point that she's obviously you've seen the progression quite well with her in terms of her just turning slowly bad, and then really bad by the end. Whereas John Walker, he just went, he just snaps. But maybe that's what it was. It's because his best mate died, perhaps, and he's had a bit of a rain check and realised what he's, what he'd done was wrong.
Personally, I do still think John is a little off, just in general, and I think he will be just because we've kind of heard the super soldier serum doesn't work properly and like won't actually change you personally unless you're a good person, pure of heart. We've seen that now only 2 times, and that's with Isaiah and with Steve.
And Bucky.
But it did change Bucky because Bucky was still.
But he was brainwashed though too.
That's true. I feel like Bucky's maybe a different situation in that regard.
I mean, he could have been totally like Steve and Isaiah had he not been brainwashed. But I mean, we'll never know.
Yeah.
Unless it comes up in a what if series thing, but I doubt they would tackle that.
The Marvel Zombies one looks like it might be featuring Bucky pretty heavily, just because the only clip we've seen from it is zombie Cap throwing the shield at Bucky, and Bucky just catches it. Like,
I have a question though. Do we think in future, I don't want to say it yet till we get to it, but do we think we're going to see Sam and Bucky always together as a team more than just Sam going solo?
No.
Because I feel like at this point, like, they kind of built them as a team. Like, not saying they're both Captain America, but, like, obviously where the shield goes, Bucky's usually not too far behind.
It's Cap and Bucky. Like, it's a thing that's happened for so long. So, like, I think that we'll probably get a story, either maybe a solo Bucky story or a solo Cap story. But I have a feeling like they're both gonna end up being in those respective, like the other show anyways, just because they'll be like, oh, it's a cameo. Like this is the character that's closest to them. Kind of would just make sense for them to be maybe not right on top of each other the entire time, but.
Right. At least like working together from a distance type thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, they seem like friends now as well. Not that they weren't friends before, but that they had this little bit of they were a little bit disconnected. Whereas now, especially the end scene when they were sort of having a bit of a party or barbecue or whatever it was on the dock, they seem like friends there, like good friends. You know what I mean? So I think you're right. I don't think they're going to be too far apart in. If they do appear again in whatever film, TV series, it really wouldn't surprise me if they end up sort of together. Yeah.
Which I mean, but I think everyone's okay with that.
Yeah. They work. I think they work well together.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember where we are in the. Yes, so John hopped in to save the people.
Yeah.
Yes, and he was pulling them back, and like he would have succeeded.
Yeah.
But the Flag Smashers got there at the same time, and they bombarded him, and John lost his grip, and it starts to fall. Until it doesn't. Because Cap is there.
Yeah.
Lifting the truck up. Which, like, it goes to show, like, so much more. This guy does not have the super soldier serum. And I heard a few people kind of complain that they're like, oh, Sam moved his face in an unrealistic way when he was trying to push this truck up. It's like, no one's going to realistically be pushing a truck up anyways. So you're looking too deep into it, my man. Like,
really? Like, is that right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's no way he could have taken that much of the truck on him. Like, he didn't have the serum. It's like, okay.
Yeah, what do these people know? Have they lifted a truck up?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't lift it though, did he? He stopped it from falling.
Yeah.
By using his wings, basically. But then he got Red Wing and I don't know, Red Wing 2.
Yeah.
That sort of attached to the front of the truck to then help push it up. So I don't know. I'm fully on board with what happened.
Oh, yeah, I really like that part.
Yeah,
maybe he's got possible. 3. Maybe he has 3 wings now: Red Wing, White Wing, and Blue Wing.
Oh, yes, I like.
Good one.
No, I like that. I do like that. That's good. That's very good. But yeah, to me, that was just the hero moment. You know what I mean? With the wings stretched out and the colours and the shield on the back. It was just that was the hero moment. And then you get a shot of Walker looking up, and I honestly thought, oh God, he's going to take this bad, because that was his moment to sort of, save everyone. That could have been his big hero moment. He actually took it quite well, to be fair to him, I thought. Yeah.
And then, as you said, that is the hero moment. Someone's like, hey, that's the Black Falcon. And they're like, nah, that's Captain America. It's catching him a lot faster than it did with John Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
But Batrock's not too happy with what's going on, so he sees this. John, Bucky down in a pit with a bunch of super soldiers. Sam just arrived on scene, ready to help out, and he fires a bunch of smoke grenades in. Smoke everywhere. Flag Smashers escape and run somewhere. Sam, John, Bucky, they go together after the Flag Smashers, and Sharon goes in separately on her own. And then we see a few different perspectives of what happens. There's Sharon and where she's going. Then Bucky and John stick together to try to find some more people. And I think Sam and Batroc, if I'm not mistaken, have another little... Or no. Sam's just looking for Carly still. That's what that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Patrick does appear again,
yes.
But I think that part's coming up, actually.
Yeah. So we got the revelation of who the power broker was. And I'll say this. I heard another theory last week that just because the Shang-Chi trailer released and there was a Madripoor symbol on one of the crates in the trailer, someone's like, hey, I wonder if the Mandarin's the power broker. I was like, hey, not a bad idea, but they've kind of been spoon feeding us that it's Sharon since episode 3, so
yeah.
As much as I would have loved that, I'm very happy they stuck with this and kept Sharon Carter as the power broker.
Yeah, it did. I mean, didn't come as a surprise. No. Certainly to us. We've been talking about that for a few episodes now. And yeah, I think you're right what you said there, Tom. We've been sort of spoon fed the fact that it's going to be her, which then makes me think, actually, is she the power broker? Now, Carly thinks she is.
Mm-hmm.
Is she?
I totally think she. I mean, she definitely is.
You think she is? Am I looking too much into this? Perhaps I don't know.
I don't.
I only say it because of the end credit scene.
Well, see, I watched the end credit scene again, and she's sort of talking on the phone to someone, saying we don't need to worry about super soldiers now. I'm going to have access to government missiles, whatever, blah blah. And I'm thinking, well, who's she? Is she speaking to someone who's below her there? One of her subordinates, or is she talking to not necessarily power broker, but just someone else in charge, maybe?
I think she's talking
she
to
isn't
Skrulls.
the only power broker. Yeah, I was about to get into that. I don't necessarily think she is talking to Skrulls in that scene, but I do think she is one. Just before we get into that, so Sharon doesn't want Carly to. I don't really know what Sharon's idea was. She was kind of just talking to Carly about how they're both
trying to get her
in each other.
She was trying to get Carly back.
She was trying to get her, come back and.
And then Batroc
obviously Carly wasn't having it.
No.
Batroc comes up. I'm trying to remember. It was Sharon who shot Batroc, was it not?
Yeah, Batroc actually blackmails Sharon, which again I think was a stupid move, because in that moment I'm thinking, oh, Batroc's going to side with the power broker. If it was me, I'd be thinking, I'm going to side with the power broker and say, look, I can be your guy. You know what I mean? Forget about this super soldier. I'll shoot her right now. I'll be your guy. But no, he decides to blackmail the power broker. I just thought that's a bit stupid.
And that's
it turned out to be right.
Batroc is French, not French Canadian. There we go.
Damn.
Not GSP though. We will always claim him.
Yeah, but Sharon shoots him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then that was when
Batroc is gone. Yes, yeah. Oh no, well, sorry, yeah. Sharon shoots Batroc, and then straight away Carly shoots Sharon, and then Sam comes in, and I think what we mentioned, just doesn't fight her. And she fights. She's trying to fight him, and he just won't. He just won't fight back.
I mean, takes her down a couple times, but in defense with the shield, not trying to physically harm her. Just trying to stop her, basically.
Yeah.
And
restrain her. That's the word.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it looks like. Again, and this seems to have been a recurring theme in Marvel films the last 5 years, but the villain was right. Zemo was essentially right in what he was saying. She needed to die for that to stop, and as awful as that sounds, that's what Sharon did. She killed Carly in front of Sam.
Yeah.
And when she was dying, I did not think she needed to die. Just because of what she said to Sam.
What did she say to Sam again?
She apologized to him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I don't think you'd be apologizing if you were truly, like, hell-bent on only doing that, and, like, you were that far gone. So that, like, and I think Sam knew that as well, and that really, like, hit him, as you could see. He kind of, like, looked at Sharon, he's like, the fuck did you just do?
There goes that pardon, bitch.
Yeah. That's actually what I was thinking. I was like,
But Sharon did that out. She might have been partly to save Sam, but it was to save herself, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or to
hide her identity.
To hide. Yeah.
That's another reason I think she's the power. Definitely the power broker. Yeah. If she wasn't, she wouldn't have to have done that.
And the other Flag Smashers, Sam and Bucky, tricked them into coming to a different exit, and then I can't remember the exact quote, but John does some quote, and then
Lincoln quote.
Yeah,
the quote from Lincoln.
Oh yeah.
Bucky goes like, Lincoln, really? John, great man. Great quote. Bucky's like, oh, not when you say
it. Yeah. I just think it was good that Bucky ended up using an app to the man from the sort of the
from the 30s.
From the 30s using an app to track them down type of thing. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh
yeah.
What's next? There's that part on the bridge. I'm trying to think what came first, the part on the bridge with Sam and the government official, or the Flag
Yeah.
Smashers getting loaded up in the...
The government stuff first.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Because
Okay.
then after that, they were like, Cap, we need your help.
Yep,
There's
there
one
you're right.
more.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because Sam drops down, again, quite an iconic, drops down with the wings and comes down with Carly. Drops Carly onto a sort of like an ambulance stretcher.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming she's dead by that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then he has the big sort of, I don't want to call it, well, it is a bit of a speech, but he has the sort of conversation with the senators, which I'll be honest, when I first watched it, I found that a bit cringeworthy. I thought, oh, is this a bit over the top? And then I've watched it again, with the subtitles on as well, and it actually made it. Everything that's said does sort of hit home. So I think probably the first time I watched it, maybe I should have been listening to what he was actually saying and not just maybe I was just sort of in
Taking
the
it in
moment.
still.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so
I was pretty much the same way.
relevance. A lot of relevance to what's going on in the world, like right now.
Yeah. I think that's what I got second time around from watching it. It was like actually what he's saying is like it's very true to what's happening. So I felt it a lot more the second time I watched it, and I realised I was probably being a bit of an arse the first time I watched it, thinking it was a bit over the top. But no, it was very right what he was saying.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, like the second time I watched it was, and we'll get into this too, but after the fourth Captain America film was just announced, and like his speech going on, he's just like, every time, like, I'm gonna put these colors on when I pick up this shield, like I'm gonna have people looking at me, staring at me, and like they are not gonna be happy that I'm doing it.
He actually said, yeah, every time I pick up the shield, millions of people are going to hate me for it. And now that's some word in that mind that that's
he even goes to say there's people on the bridge right now even thinking that.
And then it flickers, then they have a shot of Walker straight after he says that, then there's a shot of Walker, and I think there's a bit of realization in Walker that I wanted to hate this guy, probably not because of his color or anything, just generally because he was picked to be Captain America over him, and obviously Walker got it, but I think there's a realization in Walker that I've been a bit of an arse because I was hating you for a moment, and but it was. Sorry, go on, Zach.
I was gonna say he's kind of like, this was the right guy picked to be Captain America. I see why now. Like he was picked, chosen by Steve.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know when exactly this finale takes place, but I know this show as a whole takes place about 2 months before Far From Home. And there's no conflict mentioned. Mind you, this came out after Far From Home was made, but we're thinking of it in the MCU timeline. We haven't heard any of like huge conflict since then. So I'm going off the assumption that what Sam said really resonated with them, and that they didn't rush that. And they teased it a little bit, like just kind of what they were saying, and someone mentioned to them, it's like, oh, they're kind of backpedaling that vote. But I don't know. I feel like if that whole thing was still going on, I feel like we probably would have at least seen something about it in Far From Home.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's a difficult one because that was obviously made before. But the MCU are pretty good at trying to keep things online in the timeline like that. I mean, I don't. Do we think this issue is going to come up again?
No.
No.
I don't think the issue of the Flag Smashers, perhaps.
Do we think the Flag Smashers will come back?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because there's a line that Carly says at one point. I don't know. I can't even remember when it was in this episode. She says something that if we die, the flag smash. She doesn't say the flag smash will still go on, but she says the movement will still or get stronger, which makes me think, the sort of keeping the flag smashers on the board. You know what I mean, for future.
I'd have to agree with you, because before we get into what happened to the other flag smashers, when they were getting loaded onto their prison bus to be taken away to the raft, the one guy goes, "Oh, one world, one people," and then shuts the door.
So he was one of the, he was one of the police, or
he was Zemo's butler.
No, not the guy. No, not him.
No,
the guy who let them into the.
Yeah, and shut the door behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I must admit, literally just before he says that, though, when they're getting loaded on and they're saying, "Oh, we're taking these people to the raft," I thought, "Oh no, don't take them to the raft, because Zemo will end up sort of
killing them
somehow." Well, I didn't think killing them. I thought somehow get them to get him to escape and then kill him. Probably, I don't know. But then, and then you just get like you said, Zach, Zemo's butler just detonating them. It was brilliant.
My one friend I watched it with for a second, like when that happened, was like, "Who is this? Is this another comics character?" I'm like, "No, remember back like 3 episodes?" He's like, "Oh yeah, Zemo's butler."
To be honest, we were sort of like, "Who was that again?" And then we, we eventually realized.
Like, once it went to Zemo, I was like,
Yeah. But probably similar to your friend, it was just sort of like, is this like a new Marvel character that's come in? Like, who's this guy? And then, it's just the butler.
Well, that's what I was even thinking for a sec too, because I mean, and we didn't get one, but I thought there was still talks that there was supposed to be a cameo in this episode. I thought, like, the big one for the last episode was Val coming in.
Yeah.
And this one, apparently there was supposed to be one. Maybe it was cut. Maybe we'll see it somewhere else, but I don't know. I suddenly stopped hearing stuff about it right around when it was about to release. So,
was there any rumors of who it was going to be then?
No,
because I don't know who they could have.
I don't know who. Male.
Right, I just don't know who they could have sort of.
God,
who could they fit into this episode? I don't know. There was a lot going on. There was a lot going on, but it was also quite sort of tightly packed together as well. You know what I mean? It wasn't as if you could just sort of. Unless
maybe they pulled a WandaVision on us, and the cameo was Red Wing.
Oh yeah, Red Wing's back. That's all I'm bothered about.
The cameo is actually just
he qualifies as a he, right?
And it.
Yeah, he does.
It?
No, I'm calling it he, she. I don't know. It might be. Yeah.
I don't know. Sam's got to get on that. He's got to get it figured out. He works so closely with them.
Gender neutral. It's all good.
Yeah.
No, Red Wing needs to decide for itself what it is.
Their self.
Yes. Let them decide.
Their self. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's so. Sorry, we got off topic again. Funny how that works. But where were we exactly in the episode? Almost.
After Sam's speech, then the butler.
We didn't say what happened yet to the Flag Smashers. We
he
kind of beat around the bush.
No, Chris did say they blew up.
Oh, he did? Yeah. Oh, wow.
They're not blown up.
Oh, maybe not. But they're dead.
They're they're dead. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Very dead.
So...
And then I think we go to Val, I think.
Yes. And what's John Walker's girlfriend's name?
No. Don't they cut to the raft before?
Oh yeah. It's Zemo.
Yeah.
Zemo hears it on the radio and then kind of lays down in relief. That was me.
And then Val's just like, "Oh, look what happened. Like, Zemo, our good old pal Zemo helped us out." And I'm like, our Hal Zemo. Okay, I guess.
And then she says, "Oh, I couldn't have done it better myself if I did, or maybe I did. No, I didn't, or did I?" You're like,
oh,
she's
that
brilliant,
was
isn't
awesome.
she?
Oh
Brilliant.
yeah. I really hope she sticks around. Honest. Well, it seems like she's going to.
Yeah, I can only imagine that, especially probably the feedback Marvel are getting from fans about her. I mean, I haven't seen any sort of negative sort of. She's just awesome. So yeah, bring her in.
And but then she tells John to come out, and John and oh man, this show and WandaVision did a really good job at adapting the comic costumes, but I don't know if they came close to this. Like, Sam's is ripped right out of the comics, and John is literally like the spitting image of what U.S. Agent looks like.
Right.
It is awesome. So he is in his U.S. Agent garb, blacked out suit, got the few red lines on it. That's pretty much the only color. And he even makes the point, it's the same, it's just black. And then this is the part that kind of got me. Some crazy stuff's about to happen. That's what Val tells John. And
or
she
wasn't
says,
it weird?
weird stuff. And
weird.
Pretty soon we're not gonna need a Captain America. We're gonna need a U.S. agent. And they're using that to show, yes, he's gonna be U.S. agent. I don't know. To me, something weird's gonna happen, and it's a big government person talking about that. I'm sorry, that screams Dark Avengers to me.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I'm assuming you talked about this on the last podcast, but that's where I got, or that's what I got from that. Yeah.
I was a little indifferent because I kept thinking Thunderbolts. I was like, that could make sense. But the Thunderbolts are specifically named because of General Thunderbolt Ross. Like that's his nickname. That's his team. So I think we're going to see that getting assembled. It's going to be through him. Mind you, I think Zemo's going to be a part of that team. I think John's going to be on the Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. If they're doing the Dark Avengers, this is going to be crazy.
Who's commonly in the Dark Avengers then?
So
is Walker or U.S. Agent? Is he? Yeah.
And except I think he'll go under the name Captain America again.
Right. Okay.
Then
I think isn't Hawkeye part of that as like his Ronin persona?
I think someone else is part of it as Ronin, and he's going around as Hawkeye again. If I'm remembering correctly, it's Norman Osborn as the Iron Patriot.
Right.
Dakin, so Wolverine's son, as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Minerva as, I guess in this universe it would be Captain Marvel, but then it was Miss Marvel.
And then what's her name from Black Widow?
Yeah, Yelena Belova as the Black Widow, yeah. Oh no, it's actually Yelena Belova who's Black Widow in the Dark Avengers for a bit, not the other girl. I know who you mean though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to. There's a few more. Oh, there was Mac Gargan was Spider-Man, but it was really just he bonded with the Venom symbiote. So, like, mind you, I don't think we're gonna get all that, but
there's quite a lot to get through to bring them together. But
Ares was.
And that's why I brought it. Like,
that's another one.
That's why I brought it up a few episodes. Like, I mean, obviously they're heavily following comic lines. But I mean, it's the MCU. They can always throw their own twist on it. I heavily believe that White Vision is going to be a part of the Dark Avengers. I have a feeling. I mean, because he's got that kind of, I know he was rebooted or like remembered his like past, but like, why wouldn't he go with Wanda then? Why did he fly off somewhere else? I feel like he's still got like maybe a lot of Ultron uploaded that. He's got a dark side now. I just personally believe he might show up as a Dark Avenger.
I wouldn't be surprised. I personally think he's going to be in Iron Wars, Armor Wars. So,
that makes a lot of sense, yeah.
I just like, if he would have stayed under government control, maybe not under control, but just in their captivity at the end of WandaVision, I'd be a lot more certain to be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a Dark Avenger. But I don't know. It seems like he at least has some kind of free will where they can't just completely manipulate him and control him like they can very easily do with John Walker.
Yeah. I do want to say one more thing before I end up heading out here in a few minutes. Sure. Involving the Raft and Black Widow. Now, I know I brought up before that, like, I've read rumors that Taskmaster, I have a really hard time saying that.
I do.
Dies in Black Widow, which we don't know because it hasn't come out, but I'm kind of curious now if he's locked up in the Raft and they just, because Black Widow hasn't come out yet, we didn't hear or see anything about that. It could make sense why he never showed up in Infinity War, Endgame, because wasn't he part of the Thunderbolts?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious now if, they are.
Is.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious now if in Black Widow they are going to kill him off right away or if he gets locked up in the Raft as well.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. See, the thing is, you're right there, Zach, because, with the whole COVID thing, throwing the sort of Black Widow, throwing that back, we could have had sort of scenes in Falcon the Winter Soldier, perhaps, of maybe him being in the Raft when we thought he was dead. Mm-hmm. And that might be like a good, good end credit scene, seeing him perhaps, and we don't know. That,
and obviously, we know they have cut stuff due to COVID and had to redo stuff because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It could be related.
Yeah, I mean,
could be related to the pushback.
Black Widow, or maybe still is. Like we don't really know. They kind of just came out and was like, yeah, like she was supposed to be in Black Widow, and she was supposed to appear first in Black Widow. So.
Yeah, I would still expect us to see her then, if that's the case. Because, I hope as well, because that could be quite a good sort of introduction. Although we've seen it,
yeah,
that would you might get like a proper introduction of maybe who she is, what she's doing, type of thing. Okay, that's good.
It'd make a lot of sense if she was in Black Widow too, just because her character in the comic was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who was a love interest in Nick Fury, and they worked really closely together for years. And she was a Russian sleeper agent too. Like,
yeah,
I think that fits perfectly with Natasha's story.
Is Fury going to be in Black Widow?
I don't know.
If he is, they've kept it very quiet.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how many, what's on Samuel L. Jackson's Marvel contract now, because he seems to appear in, pretty much everyone now. But
does he even have contracts? I mean, that dude's in everything. I think he just gets to pick what movie he wants. He doesn't even get asked to be in the movies. He just, I'm going to do this one. And this is going to be my role.
It's like Captain Marvel, Spider-Man. It's like, sure, I'll take those two in the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mace Windu? Sure, but I want a purple lightsaber.
Well, now he's campaigning for Mace Windu that he's alive. He's like, oh, well, he just got zapped out of the window and hit with all of Palpatine's power. We never actually saw him die.
People say,
right? What's the saying if you don't? What's the saying if you don't see the death on screen?
Don't.
Who doesn't say if it happened or not?
I think he's going to turn up in Obi-Wan.
Oh my god, I hope not. Personally, I wouldn't like that. I mean, I'd love to see Mace Windu return, but I don't know. Maybe not like that. I feel like that'd just kind of.
I'm excited to see.
Oh yeah, same.
Hayden Christensen, just because if they're bringing him back, he's clearly not in the suit.
Yeah.
Because you don't need Hayden. I mean, Hayden Christensen's a little. That's what I'm thinking.
They're talking about flashbacks, aren't they? Yeah.
I would just love to see a deformed Anakin without the helmet one more time.
Yeah.
It'll probably all be CG though. This time it'll look a
Yeah.
lot better.
Seriously.
But
Anyway.
sorry, we didn't exactly completely finish the episode though. But but yeah, so after Val sees John, it's Bucky doing his one last thing that he needs to do. And that is to go let the man from episode 1 or 2, right?
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
2.
No. I think it was.
No, it must be 1. Must be 1.
I think it was 1.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because it was before he saw the news report, wasn't it?
No, it was 2. Because did we even see Bucky in episode 1?
Yeah, we definitely.
It must be episode.
Oh wait, we didn't see them together. That's what I'm thinking. We didn't see Sam and Bucky together. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But yes, it was that man whose son Bucky had killed, which we saw in a flashback when he was the Winter Soldier, and he went and finally gave the man closure. And man, that was a sad scene.
Yeah.
And like, he gave him closure, and like, he can't really do too much, and like other than that, and he realized it, and he ended up leaving. But before that, he did send all his stuff into the therapist and just like, all right, like, I'm all done. And I forget exactly what he wrote on the card, but it was basically like, thank you for your help.
Yeah.
He left Steve's book, really, wasn't it?
That book should have went to the museum.
Yeah, it should have. Yeah.
I'm assuming all more to the museums after what happened with the Shield. Nothing's going back to a museum.
Yeah.
And then
maybe he left his phone number for her.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Sorry.
I wouldn't rule it out. But then, so we did. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. After this, Bucky walks away, kind of sees the waitress and the old man in the bar, and he's just like, all right, like, now this is closed. And I took that as the Winter Soldier is officially dead. Or at least what the Winter Soldier was is officially dead. Like, this is a different person now. Different from the person who went or different from the person in 45 fighting with Captain America. Different from the person who was missing and brainwashed for 70 years. And different from the person who came back and had to fight the brainwashing. Like, now he's finally free. That felt really good for Bucky.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you see that on the sort of final where he's sort of celebrating, or he's celebrating or whatever with Sam and the others. I think you get that relief that he's the Winter Soldier. I think is, and I hope they don't bring that back now. I'm quite happy to see Bucky sort of move forward now. He's closed all that.
It's crazy to think too. That's his first like celebration social event since probably the 40s.
Yeah, that's true.
First time he was probably genuinely happy and just like hanging out.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But a little bit before that scene, Sam had one more stop to make. And Sam's stop is in Baltimore. So we've been there a few times this series. We know what that means. We're going to see Eli and Isaiah. So Eli opens the door and immediately, what you want, Black Falcon? Sam, like, still on it. Like, learn some respect, man. Like, you can, like, I bet you once Eli gets brought in, they keep that as a little bit of a joke between them for at least, like, his first appearance.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I bet you that stays. But then, Isaiah's like, he's not a Falcon anymore. And then, they go back, and this has nothing to do with the conversation that the two had at all, but just I did really love how Eli the entire time just continues on with his gardening, and at one point just like picks up like a 200-pound plant and just casually walks it over, places it down, keeps the conversation going.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eli has, after seeing Sam on the news and seeing him confront the senators, just kind of lay out what we talked about earlier, it seems like his mind's changed a bit about his thoughts about Sam being Captain America. And then, like, of course, they're still joking around a bit, but Sam's not really there to talk about that. He's there to do something else. And so he tells Isaiah to get ready. I'm really glad Eli came along, too. Because, like, and he got, I think, his most speaking parts of the show in this episode.
Yeah.
Just, like, 4 lines. But, like, I mean, I'm okay with that. Like, we'll see him down the road. But the big surprise that Sam had for them was that he takes them to the Captain America, he takes them to the museum, and I guess it's the Captain America monument or area of it.
Yes. Yeah.
And in that area is now a bronze statue of Isaiah Bradley with his name on it, and then a plaque with Isaiah and everything he did. And Sam tells Isaiah, and now no one will ever forget what you've done for this country. And
yeah,
that hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't expecting anything like that, to be honest.
Me neither.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
It was nice. It was a nice touch that I thought, just having Sam as captain, and him sort of recognizing that, yeah, I was wrong. You know, you can be a Captain America. I thought they might have just left it as that, but then to add that bit, yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, nice little touch of that.
It was great, and like, I just really hope we get to see more of Isaiah too, because I don't necessarily think he's done in the MCU. I don't think he's going to necessarily be in action, but especially just because they've introduced Eli, and Isaiah's a pretty big part of Eli's story, just because, I mean, that's how he has his powers in the first place. Eli, not Isaiah.
Yeah.
But, so,
yeah,
I have hope we'll be around. Plus, Carl Lumley was killing it. Did a great job.
Yeah.
Real quick, cut you guys off. I'm going to be heading out to that birthday dinner, so...
Oh, no, that's all good. Have a good time.
But yeah, I'll watch the podcast later to watch the rest of it, so... You guys have a good one. Everyone else, see ya.
Enjoy, Zach.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Bye.
See ya. But yeah, then it's just the last little bit of the episode. And that was just the party there.
Yeah.
And then we get the title card.
Yes.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we wanted to see, didn't we?
It is, and I'm not going to lie, when I saw it, I was like, oh, they're just going to do a second season called Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then 2 hours later, they're like, oh, a Captain America forum film is now in development with the Falcon and Winter Soldier showrunner as a writer. Like, okay.
Yeah. The thing with that is, given the monumental sort of storyline that we've been put with this, with Sam being Captain America. Because I was speaking to my mate about this, and it's just sort of like, yeah, is it literally just going to be a second series? That doesn't seem, it should be bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's Captain America.
Well, this is it. It's like, and given who is now Captain America, surely the only way they could go was with a fourth Captain America film. That had to do it. And has it actually been confirmed? I was just hearing that it was rumours and this and that, but I hope, and given the timing of it, to be fair, the fact that it came out just after, I'd like to think that it is going to be true.
I think it's true. It hasn't been like Kevin Feige hasn't said it.
Yeah.
But I think it was like either the Hollywood Reporter or Deadline who had an exclusive on it. So they're...
Yeah.
We have to trust those ones because they aren't wrong.
Well, that's right. And I mean, since then I've heard like different rumors about Steve Rogers being in it and this and that, and I could probably see Steve Rogers being in Captain America 4, small part maybe. I still think, I mean, this is going across the whole series now. Of although Steve, was mentioned quite a bit, I still thought that they would talk about him more. If that made sense, it was just it's just sort of he's not here anymore, and it's like, what do you mean he's not here anymore? He was there at the end of Endgame, so where is he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what has actually happened to him? None of that was explained, and I think that needs to be explained. And I'm assuming now that'll happen in Captain America 4. At least I hope it will be.
I do too.
Find him living on the moon. Find him living on the moon, perhaps.
Yeah, he's just on the dark side of the moon, just chilling. He's got his little horizon colony up there, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, because I guess Chris Evans is supposed to be appearing in a Marvel movie, but it isn't Captain America 4. So I don't know what they're going to do. I was thinking, I've seen a few people thought it was the Secret Empire, which is where you've basically Cap's been Hydra the whole time, which we got a tease of in Endgame where he does the Hail Hydra thing. You know what? That's as much of it as I need. I would not like to see Cap become a Nazi. I'm okay with that.
No, I can't see them going down that route, to be honest.
So just maybe a series on him, what he did to bring all the stones back, because people have been asking for that since Endgame came out.
Yeah, I would quite like to see that, and I think I think I think a TV series would work for that as well, because they could do quite. He's got 6 stones to put back. So that could quite work well. One an episode, maybe, I don't know, or I don't know, mix them up, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I could see that working.
But we did talk about it earlier. Sorry, I'm going back to the episode now. But we did talk about it earlier, the end credit scene of Sharon officially getting pardoned.
Yep.
And then, so she gets pardoned, then immediately has the phone call, and she's like, hey, super soldiers are off the menu, but now I got high-tech government secrets and all this. They'll be coming our way. And sucks for Zach, because he was one of the people talking about this too, but like, I personally think Sharon Carter is a Skrull. But I do not think that this point right here was the tipping point for me. Like, I've been thinking she's been a Skrull since we first saw her in the series.
Right.
I think something definitely happened during the 5 years we didn't see her.
Yeah, to me, I must admit, I'd never thought about her being a Skrull. But now you've said it, it makes a lot more sense to me, because to me, from what we saw of her in Winter Soldier, she was in Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier and Civil War, and I know a lot has happened in the last 5 years, possibly to her. If she wasn't a Skrull, but I still think this is very much out of character for her.
Yeah.
And I just think for her to go from Civil War to the power broker in this, I just think that doesn't seem to fit right. I get that she's probably had to go somewhere and survive and maybe do things she didn't want to do, but for me, then for her then to go that far, it just doesn't sit right. So yeah, for her to be a Skrull makes sense, actually. Yeah,
I'm with it.
Don't know what's happened to the real.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
In the comics, they were all just kind of on a ship, basically.
Oh,
like
were they
all the
just
real
locked up?
people. And mind you, that comic was confusing for a number of different reasons, because it was just kind of like, okay, what point were you pulled as a Skrull? Like, where exactly? How long were you here? And they kind of had to like smooth all that out. So I wonder if we're gonna get a few characters like this in the next few shows that are just gonna be acting completely and very noticeably out of character, just for us to kind of be like,
yeah.
Maybe that's where it happened.
Well, we got it with not so much Maria Hill, but certainly Nick Fury in Far From Home, which I mean, I not that I ever thought he was a Skrull until the end, but I remember thinking he's not acting like Nick Fury here. This I think certain things he was saying to Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and I'm just thinking, that's not how you get him to do stuff.
No.
You're a clever bloke, Nick Fury. You manipulate people to do what you want them to do, and you're very clever. And
hell, he manipulated Tony Stark.
Exactly. So yeah, that would be. I would like to see that characters being a little bit, because I certainly think Sharon Carter is. It doesn't sit right with me, that the way she is now. So that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool if she is a Skrull. That would. I want her to be a Skrull now because I did like Sharon Carter in the films. So
same here. I hope she sticks around for. Well, I mean, obviously, if she is a Skrull, she'll 100% be in the Secret Invasion.
Yeah,
but maybe she'll be in Armor Wars, because if she has access to all this tech, maybe that's the person who gets access to Tony's old tech.
Yeah, my mate thinks that. He pointed that out straight away. He's like, "Do you think she's going to be in Armor Wars?" Like, oh yeah, that seems a sensible place for her to sort of pop up in.
I just thought of that. So he's got me beat.
Yeah, that was literally. It was literally not long after after it came out. She was like, "He's going to be." Yeah, okay, right. So yeah, but again, lot of stuff happening. Yeah. What? Just a question. What? And this is basically come from a lot of stuff I've been reading on social media about Carly. What did you think of Carly's character throughout the whole sort of series? I ask this because there's a lot of people sort of saying she was a bit shit and this and that, and I'm thinking,
I don't think she was. I think she needed. I think it's good they did this character in a series, because she clearly in the first few episodes needed time to develop her character.
Yeah.
And then once it was, I really liked the character. Like in the last 2 episodes especially, like, I mean, I think I've said this a few times. Like, I do think Wyatt Russell's John Walker was some of the best acting in the series, but like Carly was not far behind. Like, she was doing a really good job. Like, I'm more so upset with the fact that she died in the end.
Yeah.
Than like with how her character was. But.
Yeah, she yeah. I mean, I thought she was absolutely. I thought she was a good character. To be fair, it's a little bit different to what we've seen, from previous films and whatever. Or certainly different to what we've seen in the MCU, I think. And yeah, probably agree with you. What we've seen with it being on a TV show, we've been able to see a backstory build up, and she was a very different person from the first episode to where she ended up. So yeah, I don't know. Would I be bothered? Am I bothered that she's now off the off the board? I don't know. I don't. I'm not so sure.
I think she could have been cool on the Thunderbolts. That's the only reason I was kind of like,
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of like, she probably wasn't going to get used again anyways, if it wasn't for Thunderbolts.
Yeah. That's why I just wonder. It's interesting if the Flag Smashers will come back, or just the whole issue that was part of this this series about the GRC. Is that right? Yeah. And about the borders and everything, which is obviously. I remember when after Endgame, thinking, are they ever going to resolve, or are they ever going to look at the issues of what's happened when half the population came back onto the world? You know what I mean? And a part of me might have thought, especially after Far From Home, where the sort of they sort of tackled it a little bit, and even in WandaVision tackled it a little bit. I just thought, they're just going to sort of, that'll be it. They're not really going to. But in this series, they've full blown gone into the politics of it, and these are the issues that the world's having. And I just wonder now, whether is that going to be it? They're just going to go, right, well, this is what happened after Endgame. These were the issues. Right, we're just going to move on with whatever problem there is in the world, and it's not going to be that. I don't know. It's interesting whether or not they're going to bring that back in or not.
I wonder if we see more of a reaction too, because I'm trying to just think of the next few projects that we're actually going to see mainline Avengers most likely that are going to have to deal with that, because Loki won't, because that's first off alternate Loki, and that's almost all it seems like in different time periods. What's next? Shang-Chi, Black Widow. I think maybe if there's maybe a post-credit scene present day.
Maybe. It's a difficult one. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Black Widow, with it being set between Civil War and Infinity War, isn't it? Hawkeye. When's Hawkeye out? Actually, back end of the year.
That could maybe.
Hawkeye could. Yeah.
Spider-Man, I don't think can.
No.
Even if it wanted to, just for the fact that at least from what we're even hearing now, it's such a crowded movie. Regardless of if Maguire and Garfield are in it.
This is it. I'd love to know what the running time is, or going to be.
Yeah. Well, that and the Multiverse of Madness, these Marvel rewatches now are going to become exponentially longer.
Yeah. Yeah. To watch Doctor Strange and Multiverse, you have to watch the entire series of WandaVision. You have to watch
Doctor Strange 1.
Endgame.
Thor Ragnarok, technically.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Infinity War, Endgame. You're talking a good sort of 12 hours maybe of watching before you can. Yeah. That's cool though. That's cool.
Oh,
yeah. Nice.
Did you have anything else you maybe wanted to go over before we?
I don't think so. Let's have a look here. I've got some notes. Just some cool things, really. Bucky catching the bar. I think Carly threw the metal bar at him, and he just sort of just caught it. Yeah. Yeah. Walker quoting Lincoln. Pretty cool. Yeah. No, I think that's. Oh yeah. Well. Just one way about Walker's shield, and I just when he first threw it, and Carly whacked it away, and it hit the wall, and then it just sort of bounced on the ground, and he sort of looked at it, and I think he was expecting it to come back to him, which made me think: did he know that the proper shield was made from vibranium?
I don't think he did.
It just got me thinking. He's made this other shield, thinking, I'm fine now, and he obviously doesn't know. It just made me think you don't know what the properties, because I'm assuming that's what makes it bounce around.
Yeah.
The fact that it doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
Obey the laws of physics.
It doesn't obey the law of physics. No, it doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't not absorb energy, or what's the word? Oh, I've lost it. I don't know.
I know what you mean though.
It's
like,
what's the word? You know what I mean, don't you? And I'm trying to sort of think the right term. It's really annoying. All I can picture is Thor slamming his hammer down onto it.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't, or it does absorb the energy. Is that right? Or
does kind of? Like
he doesn't feel like he doesn't. When something hits it, he doesn't feel it
yeah,
because the
the
shield
shield.
takes the
Yeah.
yeah yeah. There's no vibrations or anything through it. And I just wonder if that's when it pings round, that's because it's banging off things and it's keeping that energy to ping around.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm sure I could have explained it a bit better, but I'll
Okay.
go with that. But anyway, yeah, I just thought it was a funny moment when the shield just sort of dropped and he just looked at
He's
us,
like, "Are you
and
kidding me?"
I'm thinking that should have come back to me. That yeah, it's not the right shield, mate.
It's
Yeah,
times like that
yeah.
where like you just kind of look at John Walker and you're just like, "Come on, man, just come on."
This is what I said. Maybe I said before that maybe I don't pity him. Maybe I do pity him actually. That it's just like, oh mate, you just need to be a little bit better. Yeah, but no, I think that's me done for the episode.
Alrighty. I believe I'm good as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I am. Well, with that, guys, that is the end of our 15th episode. So thank you for tuning in. We'll, as Zach kind of said earlier on in the episode, we're definitely going to be doing something different for the next few weeks, just until we get to Loki. But until then, check out the other podcasts we have up, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.